Hello, and in this lesson we're going to look at wireless communication and transmission methods. So we're going to identify and discuss the methods of communicating and transmitting data wirelessly. Right, so for Silver, you need to discuss the advantages and disadvantages of each transmission type, and then you need to discuss the importance of bit rates and bandwidth. Now, Bluetooth transmission. So you would be very familiar with this. Okay, just looking at the pictures there, we can see things like earbuds are very, very popular. And a lot of things now work with Bluetooth. So this is a form of wireless communication method that is also used to transfer data. So for example, you would be transferring music from your phone to your earbuds. Now this uses the frequencies, basically shortwave radio frequencies, of 2402 and 2480 megahertz. So it splits the data into packets. So if you remember last lesson, we discussed packet transmission. So all the data that's sent through Bluetooth, which can be sound files, it can be, you know, your spoken voice, it can be images, it can be data files of any kind, and it would split it between 1 and 79 different channels into different packets to deliver the data efficiently, effectively, and, well, quite quickly. So each channel has a bandwidth of about 1 megahertz. Now, Bluetooth is a very common method of data, a transmission between mobile phones, because it is shortwave and it can be secured. And also it's a very fast and very efficient way to send data through your phone as well. So common uses can be hands-free kits when making phone calls, using headphones or playing music, using speakers. So some of you may have the small little pill speakers, you know, like the Beats Pill and that works obviously, as we know, through Bluetooth. Now, the equipment you can use with Bluetooth. Well, Bluetooth, as I said, it is a very efficient method to send data through, and it does work quite well. And it's quite versatile equipment. So mostly with mobile devices. So in-car audio systems for hands-free communication, headsets for hands-free communication again, Bluetooth-enabled devices such as smartwatches, and some of the phone's features can be used on a smartwatch, as you well know. Sending and receiving data such as images and audio. Biometric data such as heart rate, so like on your smartwatch, and I think even on your phone you can take your heart rate as well. And also you can stream videos using larger displays. So some of you may have those, you can get those tiny little projectors where you can Bluetooth like Netflix from your tablet or your phone and then project it onto your bedroom ceiling, bedroom wall or whatever. And obviously streaming music in speakers is very, very common as well. So now, basically looking at some of the, you know, the advantages and disadvantages of Bluetooth. So Bluetooth can also be used to connect network devices together in a small area, as long as high bandwidth isn't required. So the Bluetooth does not require, although it is shortwave radio, it doesn't require any sort of frequency license, because it just uses common standards that are simply used by many other devices. It requires very little power to operate. It just simply, you can use the battery on your phone, but as you know, if you use it all the time, it can drain your battery. But I think that's become a bit more efficient now as phone batteries have become more efficient, because more and more people are using headphones as well. And it doesn't require a line of sight to connect. It's possible to set up with passwords and visibility settings. So, however, it does have a limited data transfer rate, and obviously the range is within 10 meters. Okay, so, and it can connect up to 7 devices. Now, moving on to Wi-Fi. So, Wi-Fi is a communication method that's very common, and it typically operates between 2.4 gigahertz and 5 gigahertz of frequencies. So there's many standards, and Wi-Fi has evolved and evolved and evolved over the years. So now it uses the 802.11 standard. And then as it's upgraded and evolved, it's become basically gone from A, B to G to N. And from 2015, what the syllabus has recognised, it uses AC. Now, the good thing about supporting with AC is that it is backward compatible, okay, but then it's quite limited. So now the AC Wi-Fi version supports speeds of up to 1.3 gigabits per second. Okay, so it is faster. And the N standard supported 0.45. So you can see there's been a massive jump, and Wi-Fi has become quicker. So more things have become popular, such, as Netflix and so on, and other various sites where you can make videos and upload videos. So these maximum speeds, although they are theoretical, they don't reflect the actual speed, okay? Because obviously that can be dependent on, the Wi-Fi that you have at home. Okay, so the AC standard uses twice the speed and wirelessly than the N standard. Okay, so wirelessly is far more efficient and faster, which obviously fits into modern day life because we're now using more and more Wi-Fi devices. So the N spectrum had a lot of interference, and the problem was, and obviously there was interference with access points. Like, I don't know if you've ever been in places where you haven't been able to connect to the access points, and then there was problems with other devices such as smartwatches and baby monitors causing interferences. Okay, so the AC standard has kind of stopped all that. So what Wi-Fi is used in? Well, what isn't it used in? So you can connect your portable devices such as laptops, mobile phones, and you can connect to obviously corporate LANs or homeland. Now, what would be the point of Wi-Fi if we didn't connect any mobile devices? Obviously, like when people got laptop computers, you can obviously still plug in and hardwire your internet, but Wi-Fi sort of came around as a result of laptops. Then obviously we've gone from laptops to tablets to mobile phones to smartwatches, and and then there's many more devices that you can buy in shops that simply work via Wi-Fi, like for example even a doorbell. So when you get the door ringers and you can see wirelessly who's knocking on your door and so on. So there's been more and more devices that have accumulated and can connect to your Wi-Fi at home. So smart TVs, there we go, there's another one that uses services from the internet such as YouTube and Netflix. Printers can be located anywhere in the room without using cable, sorry, there's a typo there. And casting devices, obviously, so you can display to projectors and TVs. Many smart home devices can connect to Wi-Fi, like you can control your heating, your lighting, and so on. So now moving on to radio. Okay, so radio is used not just with Bluetooth, but quite frequently elsewhere. And it's basically, now they'll use radio waves, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, and so on. But we can use radio waves to track things as well. So as you can see here, there's contactless payments, clocking in cards, for example, can be used in schools and many other workplaces, and RFID security tags that you may have seen in the shops. So some shops make these RFID tags purposely visible as a deterrent, and other shops hide them. Okay, so another transmission method that uses radio waves is RFID. So that stands for radio frequency identification. Now what they use is they use magnetic fields to track the microchip placed in the device. So one of the tracking ways of doing this is tracking parcels as it moves from the warehouse to a delivery van. So for example, if you order something online from Amazon, it's got an RFID chip on it, and then there's a radio signaler that can actually track whether your parcel has left the depot and been out in a van for delivery. So the tag is read from the location and it's simply updated on the database. And then when you log into your account, you can see where your parcel is. Now, another way RFID is used is wireless key cards that unlock doors. These are now very common in hotels. Hotels do not give out keys anymore, they now use wireless cards. And obviously, as I said, they can be used in companies to track whether employees have entered or left the building, and they can be used in ski resorts for lift passes. So if any of you have been on the school ski trips, you may have used one of those cards. Now, the next one is NFC, okay? So hopefully you can see right here a clue using the pictures here, so like payment using your mobile phone. So when you're like, so obviously one way, well, we'll go through this actually. So this stands for near field communication. And it is what it says on the tin. When you're close to the reading device, it can communicate. So this is used in mobile phones to make payments. So when you're, now obviously your credit card or your debit card from your bank is your credit card or your debit card. But your phone has an NFC enabler. So then what can happen is that your phone can actually have an emulation of your card, which is here, which isn't your card, it's not your card at all. But the details have been put through the app using the NFC, communicating through the NFC, so you can actually pay using your mobile phone. So, and obviously NFC tags as well can activate apps, change phone settings, or basically web pages. Right, so what you're going to do now, so I've been through some of these, okay? So as you can see that I've discussed with you what Bluetooth is, its advantages and disadvantages. I haven't discussed infrared with you, you're going to look that up yourself. Wi-Fi, radio and RFID, if you noticed, I haven't discussed the advantages and disadvantages because that's what you're going to do now. Then thinking about last lesson, you're going to explain why a buffer is needed when streaming, identify 2 ways in which Bluetooth can be used, okay, and explain why bandwidth is important during video conferencing, okay. So now this worksheet can be downloaded directly from the Google Classroom, or you can click on the link underneath this video and download the worksheet. The very best of luck to you.